Hi everyone, welcome to my video. SCRT Telangana, Class 10 English, Unit 1, Reading A. Attitude is Altitude, Part 3. In previous videos, we came across the life of Nick until age 13, the difficulties he had to face, the attitude that he possessed. He found it difficult to continue his life. He even tried to commit suicide. He tried to drown himself in a bathtub, but it was unsuccessful. After reading the newspaper article at age 13, he came across the life of a person. He was disabled, but even then, he overcame his disability and started helping others. Nick understood the purpose of his life, and then onwards he began to change. His attitude became different. He began to see things in a different way. Until then, he was worried about his disability. From then onwards, he began to think about the abilities that he had. He concentrated on something good that he had. Until then, he hated God for creating him in that way. From then onwards, he understood God created him in order to give hope to others. So, he understood the purpose of life. There was a thought for him that there is no purpose of his life, but from then onwards he understood the purpose of his life. Now, in this, let's further see the life of Nick and how he began to motivate others. The challenges in our lives are there to strengthen our convictions. The challenges or the problems in our lives, they are there to make us strong, our belief, to make our belief strong. They are not there to put us down. And that perseverance he had, the hard work and effort he put forward, helped him to win the Australian Young Citizen of the Year award. A person who considered himself to be good for nothing has come up to be something in life. This is what the life of Nick tells us. If you are brave, courageous, if you are bold enough, whatever may be your disabilities or problems, you will be able to overcome that. And that's how we need to pull on. It may be hard, but still you need to pull on. He gives or shares a humorous event that happened in his life. How people sometimes, they were fooled by him. Once it happened that he was seated in a car at the traffic light. There was a girl, on another car. Just when she saw him, she was looking at him interestingly, thinking that a handsome young man is seated. But what happened was, could not notice that Nick was a torso. He could see only his face, a handsome young man. He wanted to just freak her out, so what did he do? He just made a 360-degree spin on the car seat. Can a person with arms and legs move in that way? It's not possible. If it is on a normal stool, you might be able to make a 360-degree spin, but on a car seat, it is impossible. So the moment when she observed him making a 360-degree spin, she felt that his head is moving on 360-degree spin. So she was rather frightened and she just sped off quickly. So that is one of the humorous events that happened in his life, he has mentioned. Further, we see a person named Badani Hamilton. Very important person, I must say, because she is yet another important person in the lives of people who gets discouraged. Because she too overcame her problems in life. Nick began traveling in the world, and in 2008 he went to Hawaii and met surfing master Badani Hamilton, who had her bitten arm bitten off by a shark when she was 12. When this Bethany Hamilton was just 12 years old, when she was just 12 years old, what happened? She had an what's called accident. Accident in the sense she was attacked by a shark. There, her left arm was bitten off by the shark. You can just understand. A person who surfs need arms and legs. Legs to stand on the surfing board and arms to balance. There she lost one arm and when she was 12. Until then she had the arm. So it was very difficult for her to come back to the normal life, but she managed. It was very difficult. Many might have been there to discourage her, but however, she was able to overcome that disability or problem that she had faced. Let's see the video. So you can see she was without her left arm, but still she was managing her life. She was doing that surfing. She was amazing, said Nick. She taught me how to surf, and I was terrified at first. But once I got up there, it felt absolutely fantastic, and I caught some waves pretty well. So it was not that easy for Nick too, because he did not have limbs. So Nick quickly learned how to do 360-degree spins on his board, a feat that got him on the cover of Surfer magazine within 48 hours. So this is what we must understand in our life. Turning the problems of our life into something great. Actually, you will come across the life of a person who was asked to sell Bible in a particular locality where it was not being sold. And those people who employed him thought that he wouldn't be able to sell even one because he had even the stammering. So, how could he convince? But later they found that he could sell much more than what they expected, and he became one of the main what's called persons in their company who sold Bible. When they inquired, he said, I had the stammering, so I went from door to door selling Bible. So how could you manage that? They were saying that they did not need it when we sent our other executives. Then he told each person at each doorstep he told them either they could buy the Bible or else he would read it for them freely. Now you can imagine a stammering person if he reads how long he will take. That also a Bible. The Bible is a thick book, and so it would not be possible for them to stand there and listen to. So they could consider buying it would be much better than rather listening to him. So everyone started buying, and that's how he made his selling. So you see, turning the difficulties or problems in our life is something different. So Nick, he did not have his legs, so it was possible for him to do a 360-degree spin on the board, which no surfer could do it. Which no surfer could do it because they had legs. So if they tried to lift one leg and make a change or turn, then they would fall, they would lose balance. But Nick, however, he could do that. And that's the reason within 48 hours of his feat, his picture began to appear on Surfer magazine. And further, we see the life of Nick that he has visited different countries all over the world. and he's a great fan of football and English Premier League and all. So the football fan is now a motivational speaker and has traveled over 24 countries speaking to groups of up to 1,10,000 people. This is just 9 to 10 years back. Okay, now the situation is entirely different. It was written in 2007 or 9 something. So at that time itself, he had traveled more than 24 countries. And further, he wanted to visit. And we had seen the first video. He was born in Melbourne, Australia, but shifted to Los Angeles. So in 2007, he moved to Los Angeles. Why? There he could establish himself. A person without limbs has become a person without limits. That is what something great about Nick.
I'm coming! Ready? Hey, is that cool? Awesome. I want to talk about like when I started, going to school and stuff. A lot of people put me down. You know what I mean? Like people tease each other. I mean, people come up and say, "Hey, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat." You like, lose some weight, and you're like, you go home and you look at yourself in the mirror and go, "I'm fat," right? And so many people tease each other. Oh, you.
So you see, people might say the external forces might try to bring us down every time, but that should not be something that defeats us or overpowers our willpower. See, if I fail, I try again and again and again. This is what we must think, or that should be our attitude. Try again and again and again. And there he asks the question: if you fail, are you going to try again? Do we try again and again in our lives? This is very important. If we try again and again in our lives, there will be a difference. So, do we try? That's what we must understand. The human spirit can handle much worse than we realize. It matters how you are going to finish. Are you going to finish strong? In the beginning, when you start, it may be a simple starting, and there may be number of problems or issues that you will be facing. But that is not there to put you down or trouble you. That is not there to fail you. That should be helping you to grow stronger and stronger, so that whatever difficulties or problems come in life, you will be able to manage without any difficulties or struggles. So when you fail, you need to try again and again and again and again until you get it. So what matters is, are you going to finish strong? How we complete, how we finish, are we going to finish strong? This is what we must realize, we must try, we must think. Because it is said, the willpower, the human spirit can handle much worse than we realize. So if we focus on that, we can understand it depends on the willpower of the person. So attitude is altitude. I tell people to keep on getting up when they fall and to always love themselves. Do we love ourselves? We always love the ability of someone. We always focus on the ability of someone. We are motivated or encouraged by the ability or talents of other people. Do we try to consider our abilities, our capabilities? When we focus on that, our life will become successful, or else it's going to be utter failure. Because when you focus on the life of others, their abilities, talents, you forget to improve or build up your life. Your talents will not be improved, your capabilities will not be seen, and so you become really troubled in your life. He says, if I can encourage just one person, then my job in this life is done. A person who tried to commit suicide, a person who thought that he